Lawmakers have quite the to-do list here at the Capitol as the legislature is supposed to wrap up business 1 week from today. They released a new list of tax proposals last week calling for increasing property tax, the capital gains tax, sales taxes on services. Most business owners would see higher taxes, and Tesla would be subject to a new electric vehicle tax. $12 billion over the next 4 years would be generated. But Governor Bob Ferguson is not on board with this plan, and he needs to be. The proposals don't go anywhere without his signature, and late in the week, he gave the latest ideas a big thumbs down.
My approach is a balanced one. We're going to need some progressive revenue, but we need to make sure we're being as efficient and lean as possible right now as a state government. And so there was a proposal originally from the legislature of like 16 or 17 billion in taxes, way too much. More recently, they've come in at 12 billion. I said that is still too much.
We're going to need to cut deeper if the 12 billion number is not achievable on revenue. And there's only so many places we can look for those cuts. It's really higher education, early learning, public safety, K-12 education, housing, and the healthcare safety net.
So expect to see a new proposal coming out this week, one that dials back the taxes and increases the number of budget cuts to state services. Republicans say that the taxes are not needed either. And on Wednesday, those tax proposals had a lengthy public hearing. Folks on both sides of the issue let lawmakers know what they think.
People can't afford it. We just can't afford it. We don't have the money.
Our district has been dealing with a severe budget crisis that has forced cuts to many different student-facing positions, compromising the quality of education our students deserve. This bill strengthens local effort assistance, LEA, a state program that provides matching funds for local levies, which is especially crucial here in Yakima, where high tax rates from low property values risk underfunding our schools.
Don't even think doing any more attempts to remove this 1% property tax cap. And of all things, to have it increase triple-fold, this is just a bad time for this, and we simply can't afford this kind of tax addiction.
Bellevue joins the growing list of districts across the state that are in financial crisis. Even after cutting $20 million in spending for next year, Bellevue is projected to go into binding conditions at the end of this summer. Especially with the looming uncertainty of federal funding, our state is going to need every single tool possible to give districts a fighting chance and to prevent unnecessary harm to kids.
Throughout this session, I've heard two main themes. We need more homes, affordable homes, and then we need to tax the hell out of you in order to pay for our reckless spending. You can't have both. The taxonomy you've created destroys home ownership. No one can buy one. No one can afford to keep one.
The budget and tax increases will be the main focus of the coming week, but that is not the only unfinished business lawmakers have here at the Capitol. There are two proposals to raise the state's gas tax that are still out there. It could go up 6 cents a gallon, maybe 9 cents a gallon, or another figure. The state says the gas tax revenue just isn't keeping up with the rising cost of construction, and some already planned road projects could be delayed, even canceled. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of how much the gas tax will go up. And it looks like lawmakers are avoiding dealing with the overcrowding problem at the state's high-security juvenile detention facility. The problems at Green Hill School have been well documented. Fights and assaults on employees are on the rise as education and counseling has decreased, all because of overcrowding, says the state. There were bills to allow the transfer of some offenders in their 20s to adult facilities, but those bills died. So there will be a push in the budget negotiations to increase funding to convert those unused adult prison spaces in Aberdeen into a juvenile detention facility. We'll definitely be watching that one. Lawmakers have until midnight on Sunday to finish all of their business here. Otherwise, they'd be looking at a special session. Governor Bob Ferguson told us on Friday that he is, quote, not overly concerned about potentially heading into a special session if it means the state can get a sustainable budget. If you download our free King 5 Plus app, you'll have access to extended in-session interviews and insight heading into the final week of this year's legislative session. From Olympia, Drew Mickelson, King 5 News.